Hello, my name is Eugene. In today's video, we're going to talk more about arrays. In the previous video, we discussed about arrays and talk about arrays, how to use it, and all of the details. And today, we're actually going to practice more how to apply that knowledge from that previous video that we learned in our application and true application and use an actual array. All right. Today, we're going to make an app. Today, we're going to make an app just like this. And in that app, you can add users to the list and display their names. So you can add new users. And if you would like to delete users, you can also delete users. And that's a simple app that we can add new users, and we also can delete users if we want to. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Open Xcode and click Create New Xcode Project. And select App. And give it name whatever you want. I will give it name Array Practice YouTube. So, and now we have a new project, and now we have to modify our content view. So, and what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to add an array of users. Remember, we're practicing more about array. And so, first of all, we're going to add array of users. So now we see our array of users with different names. So now we have to show that array of users in a list in our app. So, but you remember our app has a text field and a button. So, and after and below that we have a list. So let's start with a text field. Hey, remember we talked about VStack and HStack. So HStack used if you want to place views horizontally, side by side. So we're going to put text field, and right next to it, we're going to put a button. They're going to be right next to each other. And because of that, we have to use HStack. So now we can see a text field, and right next to it, we see a button. And in this video, we're going to add more code to that button to work with our array. So text field and the button are done, and now let's work on our list of users and how we would do that. So if simply you want a simple way to display a list is using a list. So list. And in that list, you can display different elements. And to do that, we're going to use for each. For each, what it's going to do, we have our array, and for each, we'll go through each element in that array of users, and it will select every user from that array and display in our app, in our list. So we have our for each, and it will take our array of users. And we also see ID. ID, it's identification for each element in the array, for each element in our list. And today we're going to use self. In the future video, we're going to talk more about identification and how to use it in SwiftUI. But for now, it's a simple array, it's a simple app, and I think self is just fine. So now we have our user, and user will represent each user in our users array. And it will take that user from our user array. So now we can see a list of our users. Okay, so we have our array, we have our text button and app button. So app is will be ready soon. So let's add more functionality. So let's go ahead and add functionality to add new user for our array. So let's create a function. So remember, in the previous video, we talked about how to add new elements to our array. So we would have to use append method to add new element in our array. Append, and then we specify element, and in our case, it's new user, and it will add a user to our array. And so, and now we made a function here, right? But we will have to call that function right here. So that function could execute and do stuff for us. So add new user, and user, we're going to add text as our user. So this is a text that we're adding there. So whenever user is texting, entering a text, that text string will change. So, and we can add a new user in this way when the button is clicked and user is done typing, and it will add a new user to our user array. Okay? So now we can see that new user is added. So our app is working just fine. Now, in the list, we have functionality to delete elements. How do we do that? How do we delete elements from our list? So let's make a function to delete our user. So we have our array, and we can remove elements from our array. And calling function remove, and we can use either index, and we also use at offsets and use index set. We're going to use index set. SwiftUI uses index set in the list when we execute on delete functionality. So now, when SwiftUI has a function called onDelete, and onDelete gives us back index set. So now we're going to use that index set to delete our users. So let's try. So, and our app is working just fine. And now let's run our app and see if our app is running and working just fine. So here is our app. We have our app. So now our app is working. So in this video, we'll learn about how to use array in our app. SwiftUI and mobile apps use arrays very, very often. It's really important to learn how to apply that knowledge and use arrays in your app. I hope you like my video, and I hope you can apply that knowledge in your own app. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.